Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Mizzle. You watching my channel, Mizzle 14, and I'm here doing a review of Iyanla Fix My Life, Female Felons, Healing is the New Black, Part 1. It was a really good episode. It was a really emotional episode. A lot to pack in and a lot to take in. I mean, some parts I was so feeling for these ladies, and I cried with some of the ladies, especially with Tai broke down and close to the end of the episode. I cried a little bit because I feel for them. I mean, I never been in prison myself. I don't never want to be in that mentality, but I could understand how prison could shape and alter the reality and the mentality that you have. And also, you could sit in prison for so long, you create this distorted stories that Iyanla telling them that you created stories that is making known for you to make it understandable for you could understand and you could accept that this is your reality, this is your truth, but you need to learn the truth behind of what your actions, because your actions led to this happening, and so you just create this distorted scenarios that fit for you to make it better understanding that what you did was the right choice. But like I said, not what you did was wrong. You felt that was the right choice you did at that time. And it just like you need to break down that wall, break down what caused you to do this action, what caused you to lead you to get to prison. Now, all these ladies in this episode went to prison, like Iyanla said, a lot of ladies go to prison of non-violent acts. No killing, no murder, none of that stuff. But they go to prison for years over like drugs and drugs and a lot of other stuff that doesn't cause death for someone. So stealing, non-violent acts, and they go to jail for years. So all these ladies went to jail due to a common theme of drugs, drug dealing, and being with somebody, a drug dealer, and stuff like that. So that lifestyle, that fast-paced drug lifestyle, that caused women who may not even deal with somebody who has drugs or who dealing with drugs, who's selling drugs, and then if you in the knowing is part of that problem, and you get into jail because you in the know of possession of this drugs that are being sold. So we meet three ladies: Matilda, Brandy, and Tai. And we know that all ladies will build the bond when they was in prison, just because, not because they know it was nobody around to make the friendship and bonded with. I think they built the bond because they all had connected stories in some kind of way that it kind of mirror their pattern of life. And it's crazy because Matilda's the oldest, and she said she went to jail because she's like the motherly of Brandy and Tai. She's not the really mother. She's not really their mother, but she's like the motherly figure that Brandy and Tai said that because they went there, they kind of like somebody that they looking for, somebody they didn't really have growing up, the mother figure that they needed, who was accepted, who was supported them, and she supported them through the prison system that made them feel connected and joined together. Now Matilda said these girls is like the daughters they never had because she never had, or whatever, that she lost because she went to prison for so long time. She's 60 something years old now, and she went to jail when she was 40, in the 40s. So it's like breath of fresh air for her. So Matilda went to jail because she said she was struggling and she had no what to do. She was struggling to try to go to school, try to pay the bills, try to put food on the table. And so her sons decided to sell drugs to support her habit. And then she started to get into that drug selling because she was helping her kids. Now, the fact that she got caught, she didn't want to rat her sons out. So to she decided to take the fall and go to jail herself instead of her sons going to jail of things. So she got 18 years. She served 18 years, but they sent her for 30. I think she just served 18 and then they got her out. So it's like she did that. Now with Tai was a girlfriend of the drug dealer, and since she never sold drugs herself, but she was in a knowing of him selling drugs. So she's in knowing that she knows he was doing drugs. She knew he was selling drugs. He knew he was distributing drugs. So she was an accomplice of that, even though she never particularly sold drugs herself. Now at the end, that's it. So she's guilty by association of a drug dealer. So she got served. I think she did 5 years of that, of being familiar with someone in the drug being with somebody and familiarity with the drug system, and she was sentenced 5 years. Now we come to Brandy. She said Brandy was involved with a man who got served 10 years, and she was involved with a man who was doing drugs as well, and she didn't do it herself either, but him drug dealing and stuff like that caused her to go to jail because she's an unknowing, and she's like accepted a lifestyle. And also, a lot of these people, Matilda, Brandy, Tai, got in these drug gangs because they got introduced in it. Like with Matilda, her son started selling drugs, and then she got into the drug game herself. But she knows it, or she was taking drug money, and she knows the opportunity of that. Tai said that she grew up in a drug household, so it's like familiarity for her to know this. So that's what her comfortability style was from. And then Brandy, she said her father is a drug dealer, so she attracted to the lifestyle. So she also attracted to the men who's like her father, because usually women like past episode or video that Iyanla said, a woman is what her daddy tells her to be. So I guess in Brandy case, her father's drug dealer, and said a woman should accept it and be there for the man, because I'm providing, I'm supporting you with money, I give you monetary gain because I'm giving you this. You should be able to do this, so you should be able to be loyal. You should be able to have feelings. You should be able to do things for me because I'm providing a lifestyle. No matter how my money is getting there, if I'm giving you drug money, you accept the drug money, so you should be able to provide. So she giving herself towards this man who basically they had no concerns about her safety and her livelihood, and she did that because she attracted to what that lifestyle brings, the fast money, how much she could get, the cars, the big houses, the lot of money that she's going to get. So it's very touching, and I'm glad that Iyanla making this episode multiple parts, which I think a lot of her shows shouldn't have been multiple parts, because it's so deep issues that people need to impact, and you can't just jam that in one session. Even though I know a lot of things that you can't really air on TV or something like that, maybe, and how to edit, but this thing I believe it should have been multiple parts, which it is multiple parts. So I'm glad that, because you need to deep down and develop these and break down the distorted truth that they have made for themselves when they've been in this prison system, while they out now and they're facing reality. Like, because at the right now you stuck in that prison mentality. They all are stuck in prison mentality. Until you break that, until you heal yourself, until you know who you are, then you will not make that choices again, because it's so likely for you to fall back into that same pattern after you got through so many years, because that's what you know. So all these ladies have kids and children that they have to leave behind, and that's another thing, that another layer with these women. A lot of these women go to jail and who have children, and their children usually look up to the mother, because a lot of times the father is absentee and they're not around. So the mothers is there, what they're looking for is, and when their mother is snatched away from them and they had to go for so long time, you develop this kind of mistrust towards them. You feel like they're to blame, and you have negative feelings and emotions about that, especially if you aware of what's happening. Even when you're young, when you grown up and you want to see your mother and you can't see your mother because she's in prison and she can't come out, it develops this sense of mistrust and sense of not want to reconnect and build this wall of anger because you made the choices and leave your children behind. And the choices made was directly impacted your children likability to not even seeing you for a long time. In Matilda's case, she been away from 18 years. She got old kids, and she keeps saying she had 10 kids. She had 10 kids, but it was told by Keisha, who brought in. We find out more about her next week. She's the daughter. She's the 11th child of 12 children Matilda had. So right now, Matilda is only knowledge and she only has 10 children. So she's not claiming 2 of the other children. So it's some disconnect. So Matilda's kind of lying to herself. It's saying that she had 10 children when she actually had 12. So we need to see develop more of why she lied to Iyanla, straight up saying that she only got 12 children. And we see more and what's going on. And then come to board, find out that her mother was had addicted to drugs. So it's very comfortability for her to welcome that fast life that her son started to sell drugs. So she knows exactly that. So her son started to sell drugs, and she's addicted to drugs herself. So it was very easy for that fast money to come in, that she could support her habit, or she could support that household, and it had no problems with her son dealing, and the fact that would cause their livelihood to be limited or be in prison. But she took the fall for that for it. So it's a lot of lies that Matilda was hiding that's coming about in an episode, and then we'll continue on next week when we find out more of what made Matilda lie about this. Like, she hid the fact that she had a drug addiction problem, and she hid the fact that she had more children than what she claiming. So it's like, it's breaking down. So they all had to leave children behind, and the desperateness of do what you have to do to struggle to survive, and use the drugs as a way to supplement your income in the way it has to build that fast lifestyle. So the similarity, the connective weavingness of the web of their lives is what draws them together, and it usually falls down to their childhood, not being accepted, being neglected, being pushed to the side because their parents were children themselves, and they wasn't taught how to be parents. So they did what they had to do to fend for themselves, even though they had children with you, and then they couldn't help you when you feel neglected. So you started making that choices as well. So it's like the pathology, the pattern of generations that break it down, and then usually when the mother's absent in their children's lives, it creates that kind of distortedness of the children making bad decisions or feeling that same hurt and loneliness and neglectfulness of what these ladies went through. So it's challenging and tough. Now, she started breaking down, and by meeting them one by one, she had each one of them had their own talk. Matilda, Brandy, and then she had Tai at the end on the table, the breakfast table, where Tai spoke to more about her stuff. Now, she said, y'all didn't come here just to talk and everything. Y'all come here to heal yourself, to know who you are, so you could tell the truth. And the prison, before y'all all been in prison before you got locked up. Y'all all enslaved yourself in this mentality that this is the world we in, and this is the mentality we gonna be, and this is the lifestyle that I'm putting myself into. So you lock yourself into this mentality before you actually got locked up, that this is what it is, and then that affected your choices when you affect the choices of your life, basically towards your interaction with your children and with the men and all that stuff. So it's kind of touching, and you need to look at the realities that is the actual truth than the realities that you made up when you had all that time in jail to think about why you here, why I'm in this prison, why I'm sitting in this jail cell, why. So it's like why and how you got there. So all that is factored in of what you need to do. What Iyanla trying to get them to do is to open up, to be vulnerable, to look in within themselves, because that blockage, that distortedness, it needs to be broken down into reality of, again, your choices made it happen, and you had better choices to do, but you chose this one particular path because that's the path you know is what you feel like was right for you to survive, to grow. So it was due time, and you say you want to be healed and be free, because if you don't be free, which I see a lot of people in this mentality is, after they get out of jail, they don't feel free, they don't be they stay broken, and they still feel guilty, so they get back into jail because that's all they know. It's like it's the familiarity of doing the same thing over and over. After you spend so many years and you get out when you're actually free, but are they really free? Are they mentally really free? Emotionally really free? They could be free physically, but are they mentally free to go out there and make choices to rebuild them lives? Because right now they being looked at, like Iyanla said, they're being looked at as felons. As until you start seeing yourself differently, until you start not enslaving your mentality, enslaving yourself at the prison in the prison lifestyle, then you gonna be stuck in that mentality. And then once you stuck in the mentality, you gonna keep repeating the pattern, and it may wind you back in prison. So it's like you gotta break that belief in yourself, break that distortedness, break that war up, and break that ugly truth that you need to face, that you created, that you need to face, to realize that you need to work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, then none of what happened, it could be a better future for you. But if you don't do that, then you're gonna be stuck in this void of the prison mentality that you've been created so long, that you've been involved in the lifestyle, that it gonna still continue to affect you. So she said, you don't want to be free, or you gonna stay guilty, you gonna stay broke, or you gonna stay in prison. So this is exactly what Iyanla trying to get them to do, to face their truth. So she met with Matilda. So Matilda is like the motherly figure. She's the oldest, and she's been in prison for 18 years. Now, what she wanted to be here, she wanted to reconnect back to her family, her children, because she said when she got in, her family like shunned her out, turned her out. So what we found out is that her mother was pregnant when she was like teen, and left her to be raised by her grandmother. But she had another sister that her mother raised herself. So right there, she felt that she was abandoned, and she was not accepted, she was not wanted. And the fact that her mother raised her sister but not her, I guess she kind of felt lost. So she created that pattern of feeling that acceptedness and want to be wanted and feel wanted, feel loved. So she got pregnant when she turned 15, and was about an older man, which was like 25. So dealing with an old guy when you were a minor, exactly how I think it was connection with Brandy mother got pregnant when she was young by an older guy like 30 something years old. It would have her. It got the connection. So that's how Brandy and Matilda got connected, because the pattern, the similarities, stories, and overlap, because the parents or themselves got pregnant or with someone who was older than them, and when they were so young. So that's what it starts. It stems from there. And she said she wanted to reconnect with her mother and stuff like that. So her mother passed away, I think, when she was in her 50s or something, while she was still locked up. And it was tough because she never got that closure and connection with her mother. She said she had a little bit, but she shut down and she didn't want to talk about it. So it was really hard to really go further from that. And then she said, yes, she felt lost because she wanted to look for the love of her mother and her father figure, what she got missing. So that missing piece of her life is what kind of like drove her to all these actions and stuff that leading on to how she getting arrested and serving all these years in prison. So that was that, and I was like, wow, that's so. And then she said her mother was screaming her name when she's in a deathbed, and Iyanla said that's not a compliment. So that's not a compliment, which is untrue, because she waited to her deathbed to reach out to make that connection before she died, knowing that she didn't repair that relationship with you when she was living. So it's like that was that. And then we got Brandy. Brandy said she accepted her lifestyle. So Iyanla asked her, what is love to you? Do you love the man? What could they do for you? Or you just love the man because you love the man? It's like that. Or who he is. And basically she loved the lifestyle, what he done for you. So she made the connection, what is different what you doing, and then what a hooker is. So Brandy was taken aback about that. It was like a comment. But Iyanla was not trying to be dissing her, and just kind of make her look at the reality is that what is different from a hooker who getting paid for doing stuff for the man, and it's different from what are you doing, which you doing the same thing. You getting a lifestyle because you are there for monetary gains. You're not there for love. You're not there for future and stuff like that. As long as he keep providing with money, you providing services. So what is different from a hooker and what you doing? So it's kind of reality, because she said, oh well, I don't think about it, because she said middleman and stuff like that. She said just because you only want one man and they were many men, what's the difference? Because at the end of the day, a man will call you hoe if you sit with somebody, one person, I guess them sitting with 50 million people. And like when a relationship with a woman cheating on the man will or call you all sorts of hoes. Even women too. We call it, oh, she a hoe. She fucked up the family. She's like with this guy. It can only take one. So the fact that you are with this guy, who you say you're attracted to this lifestyle because he reminds you of your father, who was a drug dealer. So that lifestyle of monetary gain of money, that you had to sleep with this guy and do what you got to do to be a kept woman, and you gotta take care of him. You take care of me, I take care of you. And take care of you means sleep with him, do what he wanted to do, be there in the lifestyle, knowing the lifestyle, even help him, support him if he needed it when he's in trouble and jam. So what's that? So she said she's trying to set standards for herself and doing this, but it's their correlation is kind of similar. It's like what's different, and at the end of the day, like Iyanla said, a hoe is a hoe. I'm in Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn too, and they call you a hoe in the quickness. If you slept with one man for money, or you slept with multiple men for money, you still call a hoe. So what is the difference? And she said that she didn't get that resolved for her father because her father is what she look up to, and her father was the exact image of her boyfriend is. So she knows exactly the lifestyle. And her father died when she was in prison, so she didn't get that reclosure, that connection to resolve issues that she had with him and everything. So she said is her daddy told her this was okay, this is lifestyle, this is what a woman supposed to be, this is what it is. And the fact that you dealing with a man that's just like me is fine. So she believed in that's okay. So I was like, yeah. So I like that correlation that Iyanla made. What's the difference? Because you sleeping with a guy because what he do for you, monetary gain, is no different from a hooker who getting money for sex. So, and that's what I was saying. So they had to all come back together, and they had to sit down, and it was a doorbell ring, and it was like a PO type actor was reading their sentences. And she gave them all their envelopes and the census. This is the charges y'all was brought up. Charges like reckless negligence of your children, abandoning your children, drug possession charges, and stuff like that. It was different random charges. And Iyanla said, I'm going to do the same thing. Instead of you having a court in the system, this is the court assistant sentences of the announcement you have. I'm going to have a court of life. You need to tell me and defend yourself of why they should not be stuck with that prison mentality, why they should not be stuck in that enslavement of being in prison. They're not who your identity are. That's not who you are. That was something that happened to you, but that's not who you are. You're not a freaking felon. It's like that. You're a felon of record, but you're not a bad person. So if you need to identify who you are as a woman, accept who you are as a woman. Identify who yourself as a woman. Show yourself as you are as a woman, and know who you are as a woman as well. Break that mold and that mentality of it. And if you don't, you will always gonna be enslaved with the prison mentality of society, because they all gonna look like you. And like she said, they looking at you and they see your record, they only see, oh, she been in jail, she a felon. They see you as a felon. They don't see the woman in front of you. They don't see the person who you trying to become, or the person you trying to change it to become. They only see that. So you need to work on yourself within yourself to fix that, break that mold. And by you creating the pathology of the family, and you're not saying anything, that got you into here. They got you there in prison because you don't say what you know. You not leave the boyfriend who knew you do drugs, who could affect your children. You're not saying anything that caused you to be in jail. You didn't confess. You didn't say anything. You didn't defend your children at the time. You kept the lifestyle because that's what you wanted, because you had that love. So they had to defend themselves and break free of the chain that's shackling them, not literally, but mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, shackling them down and chaining them down, and they had to break that shackles off of them to better off. So they're gonna have a court of life to face the reality and defend themselves of why they should not be stuck in that world that everybody's seeing them as female felons, instead of as women who made bad choices, who want to relive themselves, who want to rebuild their lives. And that's what it is. So let's get the chance of that. But in order for that to happen, you can't tell lies. You got to be truthful. So exactly, I guess, in Matilda noted that she made some lies, and we find that she's lying. It's gonna be tough for her. She's gonna have a hard time because at the beginning she was resisting and she didn't like how Iyanla was coming after her and coming after how she should feel. She said, "I feel like you're trying to change my heart." She said, "I'm not trying to change your heart. I'm trying to change the mentality of what you're thinking and have you face the truth of what happened and how lead you into this lifestyle." Now, next day they had like a breakfast thing, and y'all asked how y'all night was, and they had that kind of like that. They felt like they were still in prison, and it's like that. You have that habits, like they say 4 in the morning, they was in the house and everything. They staying up and they did a count, and they relived the story of that they had to do a body count at certain in the morning, and they got to stay in there. And they said they stuck in that prison mentality, and they poise and all the stuff habits that prison mentality tell you that break you down and break down your individuality and make you mold to what they want. They still sitting there. So they sat there all poised. They didn't want to eat until they got told. And she said, "Y'all can have it." Like, they wouldn't touch the food because it wasn't told to touch the food. So it's like they had that habit. It's like a little funny story. My brother got out, and thank God he changed his life. I love what he's doing. His growth from after he got out of jail. He still had the mentality of eating fast. Like, mentality of prison, you got to eat fast, and you have a certain time limit to eat. And then how he eats now, he still eat. I say, you gotta slow down and not going anywhere. But that's how he used to. So he still had that mentality of eating. So it's like they felt that kind of way. Now it came to Tai's story, and this is what I kind of like broke me down, because I was starting to cry when Tai started crying, because she wanted to be a doctor. She wanted to be an obstetrician, and obstetrician. She wanted to be an obstetrician, and I was saying that was nice, but she got in a good school. She got accepted to a good school in the city, but she manipulated her mother to get her into zone school so she could be with her friends and stuff. And then she started Felons school. She started doing the wrong crowd and everything, and she just destroyed her life, a dream as being an obstetrician, for the acceptance and the love. And Iyanla said, when it was the first time you ever felt this way? Why do you feel like you need to be accepted with friends? Why do you feel like you should have get your dreams to be with your friends when you had a dream out there for you? So when did you lose yourself? And when she said that, when did you give up on yourself? When she said that, she started breaking down, and I started breaking down with her. I was like, oh, no. And I started having tears in my eyes, because I felt it. It was like, she's so young, she gave up on herself. She gave up her life, a dream, a better life for herself, to be accepted. Because she said, as she learned when she was like around 9 to 13, 14 years old, she didn't get that support and love that she wanted, because her mother wasn't there for her, like she said. And so she never got that acceptance. So she felt that being accepted with her friends was enough for her to be around. So she gave up her dreams and life of acceptance with her friends, even though that was a wrong thing to do. Now, since that decision she made spiraled out of control, it got her lead to what she is now, in prison. So feel that guiltiness of wrong. You need to break that guiltiness, because right now you out of prison. You feel that guilty of leaving your family. Feel guilty of making that decision. Feel guilty of the life choices you made. You're not wrong for what you did. You did, because it's judgment for everybody to say, oh, she wrong, she did this, she should stop all that stuff. But they only did it because what they know is what they were familiar with. So we need to get that felt of guiltiness off of them, so they can really rebuild and heal themselves. And once they do that, then they can lead better choices, because it's better choices out there. Just because you get out of prison doesn't mean you stuck in that thing. You don't have nothing to do. You can't get a job anymore. It's like, it might be tough, but if you change the mentality, then everything else will get better. And that's how you do. You gotta think better. You gotta know better. You gotta believe that something will be better. But if you feel like things will be the same, it's not like that, you go back to where you was knowing. And this where we got Keisha, which is the daughter of Matilda. And that's what she revealed to us, like I mentioned in the earlier episode, earlier on this video, that she's 11th child of 12 children. And Matilda keeps saying she's 10. And then she revealed that he had a drug addiction. So those two secrets came to light that Matilda revealed, didn't tell us that what happened. So that was part 1 of the review. I can't wait to see part 2. It seems like it's going to be more emotions, more things, more truth, more things are going to come out. Breaking the shackles, it will give more time for Tae because she's the youngest and she needs that time for more development of her and breaking the chain that she enslaved herself into, and all these ladies. So that was my review. Please hope you like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Also share my videos, get my channel out there, get my name and word out there so it could build my channel up. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.